Hey yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy CrispPurpose back at it again with another Gems of War top 5 video for you guys. Now in this one, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 classes in Gems of War 2024 edition, as well as the top 5 class leveling teams and the #1 game mode for leveling classes in. Let's get into it. And the number 5 pick on the list for top 5 classes 2024 is going to be the Archer class. Now the Archer class is a very solid class. I think the classification for this class is an elf class, right, from Force of Thorns. This class right here has a number of different things that makes it very useful. For one, the class has a mana start, a 50% mana start in the traits, right? With fast, starts battles with 50% mana. Now that can be very useful. Of course, starting with more mana than the enemy gives you a leg up somewhat over them when it comes on to getting spell ready and killing off their troops before they start killing off yours. Now that's one thing where the Archer class stands out from many other classes. Now along with that, the final trait on the class is very useful. The ability to have a lethal skull hit, a 15% chance with that bullseye final trait. I can tell you, there's so many times where I've done battles in PvP, not explore, in PvP specifically, fighting against enemy troops, or maybe in Guild Wars. Yeah, I think in Guild Wars. And the enemy had the Archer class on the hero, and one skull hit and my troop was gone. And it can be very, very, very good. I should say as well, this trait can backfire. Let me mention that, because if the enemy that you're hitting with that skull has skull damage reflect and this final trait procs, it could also kill your hero if you're using the Archer class. Just keep that in mind. That's something that I should mention. But it's one of the reasons why I actually like using the class. Many times the enemy does not have skull damage reflect, so if you hit them, they die and you don't. In the talents though, it actually has a pretty nice setup of talent trees. It has Forest, Wind, and Cunning. In the Cunning tree, it has the ability to Hunter's Mark a random enemy when matching 4 or 5 gem matches. Now that can be very helpful in killing enemies quickly. You have that 15% chance plus that additional damage from the Hunter's Mark to the enemy, so that's very potent. It has the ability to resummon as well with that Haunted Weave. It summons a random webs a random enemy, I should say, when you summon a troop in, so that can be good if you have that set. It also has Root Trap and the ability to conjure a Leaf Storm, right? The Nature's Aura conjures a Leaf Storm at the start of battle. It also has a number of different resummons, so it has the ability to summon a Bandit, 35% chance. It also has the ability as well to summon a Heronaut, a 25% chance when an ally casts a spell. And of course, there's the ability to generate some gold with the, where's that talent? Right there. Light Fingers. So you gain about 5 gold every turn. So that makes this class a decent class. Definitely a notch above the rest because it has a 50% start in the traits. Now that is very, very, very good. All right, so that is my pick for number 5 on the list for the top 5 classes of 2024. Now let's take a look at the team. This team is one of the teams that many players have been using. It's one of the best teams for leveling classes. Up front on the team is the Black Manacles weapon. This weapon right here deals damage to all enemies. There's a 20% chance to devour a random enemy. Now, let me tell you, I've seen so many times where Black Manacles has devoured 3 enemies, after casting multiple times. In fact, it happened to me before. I posted once on Facebook, was like, yo, Black Manacles just devoured like 3 of my troops. And yeah, I love this weapon. The damage is great. Along with that, the weapon actually has for its upgrades Fiendish, Chaotic, Plagued, and Umbral. So that is a very, very powerful weapon. When you couple it with the Archer class, it becomes even easier. So 15 mana cost, you're gonna start battle with half of that down. So pretty easy to get that mana off the board once you cast a troop like Leprechaun. Now Rowan is on the team as well. This troop right here is the GOAT, man. From the early game to the late game, players are still using this for Explore 12, PvP. I've even seen players use this in Guild Wars as well. And man, it's an outstanding troop. It's a Fey Elemental troop from Force of Thorns, 12 mana cost, right? And the damage is crazy on this troop. Let's move over here. it deals scatter damage boosted by my armor, right? Which is the boost ratio, I think, is ×2. So 2 times the armor is what it deals for damage, which is crazy. Yeah, there's nothing bad you can say about Rowan, man. Rowan is just goated. It's just goated. Just an amazing troop. So yeah, Mirage Queen on the team as well. This is going to be giving a 50% start to Rowan because it has that Drowned Crew final trait. All elemental allies start battle with 50% mana. If you don't want to use the Mirage Queen, because I shouldn't say there's no reason not to use this, because you picked this up from the Sunken Fleet faction. Just go down there, it's a legend, it's an underworld legend, toss a couple chaos shards at the portal, boom, you get a Mirage Queen. And there you have a 50% start for your Rowan. So it's very easy to get this thing. And if you want as well, you want to be fancy, you can use King Oberon. That's a Fae troop that gives a 50% mana start to all Faes. Go ahead and try that one out. Leprechaun at the back of the team. And yeah, this is a great team for using in a number of different game modes for leveling the Archer class. So the number 4 pick for the top 5 classes 2024 is going to be the Archmagus hero class. Now this class right here is the best purple class in the game. The best class for, you know, purple weapons, for purple anything, right? The Archmagus hero class stands out as being the best. For one, take a look at the traits right here. So it has a Mystic Bond, allied mystics will gain 2 life. It has Arcane, gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, and a great final trait, the Mana Flare. It will gain 2 bonus purple mana from purple gem matches. Now, when you couple that with the talents in this class, you see why the Archmagus hero class right here sits in that number 4 position. So for one, it has the talent trees of Arcane, Storm, and Chaos. Now those talent trees are pretty good when you mix them together. So let's take a look at Arcane. Arcane, you have Magical Shield, you have Mage Lord, Anti-Magic Sphere, Mana Source, right there, 50% mana start for the class. That is very good. And I think I've never seen an Archmagus hero class in which persons select something other than Mana Source right here. It's always Mana Source. Nobody ever uses the Storm's Aura or the Spawn of Hell, especially not the Spawn of Hell. That's not a good talent right there. This is the one that persons go for always, because you know you always want to start with a 50% mana right there. It also has Antiquity. It has Titanic Surge, as well as Sudden Doom. That's a Doomstorm, which is a Doom Skull Storm at the start of battle. It also has this right here, Arcane Surge. Now the Arcane Surge is very good when you couple that with the fact that it has the Mana Flare with Arcane Surge. That's +3 on purple right there. That's an easy 1-3 gem match, and your purple weapon or purple troop, boom, spell ready right off the jump. So it's pretty good. Now when you look over, it also has Lightning Strike, because once it has a Storm Tree, it's going to have Lightning Strike, right? I'm saying Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike, yeah, it's going to have Lightning Strike. You will explode a yellow gem when you match 4 or 5 gem matches. That right there is very useful. Sometimes I start a battle with the Archmagus hero class and just match 1 4-gem match, not even purple, and boom, all my troops get spell ready. Why? Because I get cascades on the board, and right there that allows every troop to get mana, because gems are matching left, right, and center, man. It's very good to have this particular talent in the class, as well as it has a decent setup of final traits. Not the most useful, except for the middle one, because elementals are a very powerful typing in the game. So you will get 1 magic when an ally casts a spell for all elemental troops. So if you have multiple elementals on your team, it can prove to be very useful. It also has Mystic Channel and Chaos Wave for its final traits. But I think the center one here, the Lord of Storms, is the best talent in that tree. All right, so this is a team that I think is one of the better teams for leveling the Archmagus hero class, and actually one of the best class leveling teams in the game. It sits in the number 4 spot for me. It's going to be up front on the team, the Obsidian Labram. The Obsidian Labram is a faction weapon from the I think it's called the Obsidian Depths faction, right? This faction is the faction associated with Hellcrag, I think. If I got that wrong, drop in the comment section, I'll correct it. But this weapon explodes magic +1, right? So based on your magic, stronger you are magic-wise, is the more gems you're going to be exploding here with this weapon. And along with that as well, the weapon summons an Obsidian Depths. Oh, so I was correct. It summons an Obsidian Depths troop right there. So yeah, I think this weapon is really good for use on this particular team. It also has, for the weapon upgrades, armored, enchanting, draining, and along with that, lightning for the final upgrade in the class. Now, secondly on the team is the Phoenicia troop right here. Phoenicia is an amazing troop. Of course, she's been overshadowed somewhat by the new Cosmic Dragons and the Gem Dragons and, you know, more newer troops. But undoubtedly, this girl is still a queen, man. Phoenicia is an elemental Strix, 24 mana cost of green, red, and yellow. The spell is Rising Sun. It will deal damage. In fact, magic +1 damage to all enemies boosted by red gems and burning enemies. Along with that, if there is a firestorm, it will deal double damage. So you always want to ensure that there's a firestorm so you can get that double damage from your Phoenicia. Her traits are somewhat underwhelming, but they can be used because she has Fire Spirit, she has Fireproof, and the final trait is where it's really underwhelming. The Sun Flare, 50% chance to burn a random enemy when at the start of my turn. There are troops in the game that burn all enemies when you match 4 gem matches, or even just match red gems and it burns enemies. So this is kind of underwhelming. It's an underwhelming final trait, but the spell makes up for it. You know what I mean? The spell makes up for it. All right, so the Magma Dragon is also on this team, and as you guys can see, a number of good troops in the game, are some of the best troops, I should say, are easily acquired troops. You don't have to kill yourself in making a good team, worrying about, you know, this mythic and that mythic. You can make great teams by simply going to the underworld, getting your chaos shards, tossing them at a portal. Boom, great troops gonna be dropping out right in your hand, right, for you to grab them suckers. And this is one of them. Elemental Dragon, 16 mana cost of red and brown. Spell is Magma Breath. It's gonna deal damage, magic +1 damage to all enemies boosted by red and brown gems. The traits are great on this troop. Deep Magic, 5 magic when attacking delves. Embers, 25% chance to convert a red gem to a burning gem when my turn begins. And Magma Storm, right? That is a lava storm. What is a lava storm? It is a red and brown storm. Every single turn, once this troop is not stunned, you're going to be having that storm starting over and starting over and starting over every single turn. Now that allows you to get your Phoenicia spell ready, cast it, boom, kill the enemy troops. Very, very potent. In fact, I've used this specifically in a number of different game modes. This specific team, the level classes like crazy, and I got them done. I think I have 1 class to work on left, and I think it's that newer class, and the class is kind of trash. So I'm not worried about it. So yeah, this is the number 4 pick on the list for the top 5 class leveling teams, and archmagus is the number 4 pick as well for one of the best classes of 2024. And this is the number 3 pick on the list of top 5 classes and class leveling teams. We have the Geomancer class. Now the Geomancer class is the first ever construct class added to the game from the Kingdom of Hellcrag. Now this class right here is a very, very good one, man. Great class for a number of different reasons. So for one, the traits on the class are Stone Heart. You will gain 1 life for each brown ally. And then Stone Skin. That right there is powerful. It is the only class in the game with a 50% skull damage reduction. I don't think any other class has a higher level of skull damage reduction than this. I think the second highest ones are Sentinel and the Dragon Guard class, and those have only a 40%. So this is the number 1 when it comes on to skull damage reduction. Then it has an excellent final trait, the Infused Stone final trait. All construct allies start battles with 50% mana. So it has a 50% start for a complete typing. Really, really good final trait right there. Now let's take a look at the talents. So in these talents, we have the talent trees of Stone, Arcane, and Knowledge. So in the stone tree, we already know the stone tree over the years. It has impact right there, hammer mastery, stone circle, dwarven armor, rock solid, and it also has stone mastery and the great final talent, fortitude, right? You're immune to almost everything right here. Immune to stun, you're immune to poison, disease, death mark, lycanthropy, and devour. Then if you move over to the arcane tree, you have, of course, a natural 50. This thing has two 50% starts right there. So usually I don't select this one. I go over to knowledge and select tactician, so I can get some additional magic for whatever weapon I have the hero using, especially if it's a damage dealing weapon. You really want to get that additional magic. Now if you look in arcane as well, this talent is very good. It has a spell damage reduction. So not only does it have a skull damage reduction in this class, it also has spell damage reduction. So I think this class is the most tanky class in the game. Separate from having those, if you move down further in the talents and go over to right here, there it is, rock solid. So it has a reduction to skull damage, it has a reduction to spell damage, and then it also has a natural barrier with a rock solid talent right here. So that makes it a very good class, man. I think the devs have favorites, right? They are selecting all brown classes to be the most potent, the most durable that you could possibly find are the brown classes. In the knowledge tree as well, separate apart from having the tactician talent right here, it also has a good first talent, which is serendipity. This will allow you to gain a random status effect like off the jump, right? It could be enchant, it could be a barrier. Even if you didn't have a barrier because of matching a brown gem, you could get a barrier and start a battle. So it will just give a random ally a random status effect. Just bless right there, or enchant, or that's just super cool, you know. And it can be a lifesaver because sometimes your troops at the start of battle, like in a PvP fight, they become frozen because the enemy troop has snap freeze. You know, the enemy hero has snap freeze on. So right there, you get frozen, or any other negative status effect that could proc on your troops at the start of battle. This could actually help out and get you a leg up over the enemy troop. If you're using a tome, you can also get magic. You can get a resummon if you get damage to your life. So that's one good thing about this class. It has mentor, so all allies can gain more magic. And then it has level 70 talent right here, enchant. So separate apart from getting enchant, possibly from the serendipity, you could possibly get enchant just by setting this. So that's really good. This talent isn't used as much. I don't think anyone should shift away from using fortitude right here. Keep it on fortitude, never change it. That's what I do, at least. And it's great, man. The Geomancer class is a notch above the rest. That's why it takes the number 3 spot on the list for the top 5 classes of 2024. Now, this is a team that I think is really good for leveling classes overall, not just for the Geomancer class, but for any class in the game. Up front on the team is going to be Diamantina. Now, Diamantina is a very powerful troop, an amazing troop if you have it. And if you get it earlier, it can be very good for leveling classes because, for one, it takes in all mana colors. So whatever storm a class has, doesn't matter. Diamantina is right there. She's going to get every single mana pretty easy, right? The thing about her, to benefit the most from Diamantina, you tend to want to have that Bone Storm, right? The Song of Bones talent running. So for some persons it's very important, but if you're not doing the fights that require you to cast Diamantina more than once, then you should be fine even if you don't have this talent running when you start the fight. This team also consists of the Wand of Stars. It's great to use it with Diamantina and other troops simply because it uses all mana colors as well. Essentia is the dragon troop, I should say, dragon mystic from Dragon Squad that gives a 50% mana start to all dragon allies, which is very good. And it also has a talent that can benefit your Diamantina because it has a Song of Light. It will summon a light storm, which is a yellow storm at the start of battle, can be okay. And if you need to, you can cast it for some resummons. Majority of the times, you're not going to need to cast this with this team because you're trying to one-shot the enemy troops. Of course, you want to see if you can possibly move her around. If you're not getting to one-shot, put her possibly in the first slot and then move your Diamantina down to the second slot or so as to be able to get more damage from those skulls on the board. Leprechaun, once again, on these teams. And the fastest class leveling teams that you're going to find, it's gonna have Leprechaun, right? It's gonna have Leprechaun. It just makes sense. You want to be fast? You need the con, right? You need the con if you're gonna be fast. Hopefully, I'm not getting too loud in this mic right here. And yeah, that is the number 3 pick on the list for the top 5 class. Geomancer is gonna be the number 3 pick, and then this class right here, this team, I should say, right here with Diamantina is gonna be my number 3 pick for a great team for leveling classes. And the number 2 pick on the list for the top 5 classes and class leveling teams is going to be the Titan Hero class. The Titan Hero class has withstood the test of time, man. It is a solid class through and through. It is a tight run actually between this and the number 1 spot. Some person might switch out the number 1, what that I picked, and put in the Titan Hero class, but I think that the Titan Hero class should be in the number 2 slot, simply based on the fact that the number 1 class is the best. I don't think there's any denying that. But this class is solid, man. Let's take a look at the traits right here. The traits that it has is a giant bond. Allied giants will gain 2 life, and this, of course, is a giant class. It has big and a great final trait. Once again, a 50% start for a complete typing in the game with the Giant Lord final trait. Allied giants will start battle with 50% mana. That right there is very, very good. If you go down to the talents right here, you're going to notice once again why the Titan Hero class stands out. For one, it has the talent trees of War, Stone, and Storm. And usually once you see Storm and Stone in a talent tree, you know it's good. Along with that, the War talent tree as well is a solid one. It makes for a great attack buffing talent tree. That's what it is. So we went over the Stone tree right here. So impact is there. You have that Stone circle. You have the Rock solid, right? You have the Stone mastery, and you have the Fortitude, a great final trait, a great final talent, I should say. And there it is, Lightning Strike once again, the Storm's Aura. So when you couple the Rock solid with the Storm's Aura, you find that even though this class does not have a skull damage reduction, it becomes super tanky because there's so much brown gems on the board that you're always gonna have a brown gem to match and not get hit with skulls, not get hit with spell damage, which makes the Titan Hero class tank very well in comparison to many other classes that might have other traits. Then if you look at the War tree over here, you see where it can actually be very potent. For one, it has ferocity, it has counterattack. And then if you move down, it has vengeance, right? So you will gain more attack simply by, attaching those without even casting a spell or whatever. Right there, you're going to be able to gain more attack. And then it also has that bloodthirsty level 70 talent, right? The ability to become enraged when you match 4 or more gems. That can be very good because enraged troops hit with, I think it's 1.5 times damage with skulls, and they ignore all immunities. So if a troop has skull damage reduction, or they're immune to this or that, forget it. I'm enraged, booyah. You're out of here, man. You're out of here. And then it also has a Bull General. I never select anything other than Fortitude, so I wouldn't recommend you do that. Stick to selecting Fortitude. Titan, number 2 spot on the list. Now, this is the team that I think is truly one of the best, if not the best, class leveling team in the game. And it's going to be the Stellarex team, right? If you deny that the Stellarex team is an excellent team for leveling classes, you're denying the truth, man. Just being honest. This class, this troop right here is everywhere, and it should rightly be everywhere because it's a great troop. Deals damage to all enemies. I think it's magic times 3 or something like that it does. It's a killer troop. That's all I can say. It's amazing. It's amazing, right? That's what it is. Spell and skull damage reduction, you can't go wrong with that, and has the ability to buff up itself with the power of stars. Final trait, giving 1 to all skills to all allies whenever you match skulls. Wonder Stars, Essentia, Leprechaun once again on this team, very similar to the Diamondina team, except Stellar X is so much better. Why? Because it has the ability to control the board, right? It will put those Elemental Stars, Umbral Stars on the board, and that right there, it has the ability to get an extra turn. If there are a huge amount of skulls on the board, 10% chance at the start, and then boosted by 4. So yeah, that is my pick for the number 2 best class leveling team. And of course, the Titan Hero class comes in at number 2 as well for the top 5 classes of 2024. Now, did you have any second thoughts as to what I would pick for the number 1 class of 2024? I don't think so, right? The Elementalist class is amazing. It is a royal pin, right? When you're using the Elementalist class, it feels amazing. You're killing people, right? But when it is used against you, you're like, God damn it. This class, man, this class is something else, man. Let's take a look at the traits on the Elementalist class. The first trait and the second trait, they're aight. You know, they're okay. Okay, right? Elemental Bond, Elemental Shield, they're okay. You gain armor, you gain life, aight. Then you get to the final trait and you're like, woohoo! Right? Stun, freeze, burn, entangle a random enemy. Stun, freeze, burn, entangle. Let me say it again. Stun, freeze, burn, and entangle a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems. Elemental Force is broken as broken can be, man. I don't know, bro. This final trait right here, it's crazy. I don't know. What were the devs thinking when they added this? I don't know. There's nothing I can say. It's just crazy. Then you hop into the talent tree right here, and you see some of the best talents known to Gems of War, right? You see the stone tree, you see the water tree, and you see the storms tree. You're like, goodness gracious. I think when this was originally showcased, I think the first time I saw this was on Terran's World. And instead of having the water tree, I think it had I think it was fire. I think it was a fire tree, right? And if it had the fire tree, it would have been crazy. It would have been crazy. But I think they like kind of toned it down somewhat, like adding the water tree right there. And man, it's good. It's good. So once again, let's look at them. The stone tree is going to have impact. And of course, it's going to have the stone circle and the rock solid and the stone mastery and the fortitude, right? And then the water tree ensures that you have a decent amount of immunities here. And then an annoying first talent, right? It has a snap freeze. So you're going to freeze that enemy off the jump just like that. Then you're also going to be insulated. They cannot freeze you. And even more so, they cannot even stun you and try and freeze you because you are immune to stun. Right? So that makes it very, very solid, man. It also has the water binding, and then it has deluge. So even if you do not want to pick rock solid, you have the hero like lower in the team. You're like, all right, let's keep him tucked in the back, right? You select deluge, and right there, the enemy troops, if they're using standard AoE damage, they can't hit you. Once you become submerged, you dodge it, right? They try and hit you, you dodge it, right? Just like that. And it just keeps on happening. And then you have the water mastery as well. You're gonna gain bonus blue mana from blue gem matches. Never select aquatic, only select fortitude. That doesn't make any sense at the back right there. It also has the Lord of Storms final trait, but I would select that as well. Keep it on fortitude. Then you go over here. It has lightning strike. It has the storms tree, so it has the storms aura, right? That's very good. It also has the ability to give 1 magic to all yellow allies. And it has what's this? It's power of mace, right? Which is just crazy, man. There's a lot of good things right here about this. It also has the chaos storms as well. That's where it can select like random storms whenever you match 4 or more gems. Can be useful on some teams, but majority of the times I tend to keep it on this and never select anything else because I want that brown storm, right? I want that brown storm. So this is a team that I think is the #1 team for leveling classes in 2024. The first time this team was ever showcased was by Hazard, right? Hazard on YouTube. That's the guy that first showcased this team. This team is the double Tesla team. The double Tesla team can be used with any class, any player, any level, any game mode in which you can use Tesla. You can use this team, right? Specifically in PvP, Explore, it is amazing. If you get, for example, a delve in which you can use this, like a blue-purple delve, or a red-green delve, or a blue-green delve, or a red-purple delve, you can use this team right here. 2 Teslas on the team, followed by the Wand of Stars. The Wand of Stars is great on the team because it can get your troop spell ready very, very easily. I think the #1 class to level with this team is probably any red class or any class that has a blue storm, of course, because Tesla uses blue mana and red mana, right? So it becomes very easy to use these to level up those classes. So yeah, man, this team is amazing. It works really well in Explore. This is the only team that I'm going to be showcasing on this video. So let's hop out of here. Let's collect my tribute first off. Like, wow. Let me switch my medals. One of the great things about this particular team is the fact that you do not, and I repeat, you do not need, let's put a 20% start right here. You do not need magic. You do not need any magic whatsoever to use this team, right? So if you're a lower level player, that, you know, a more early game player, you can use this team. It is a really solid team for using in with whatever. As I said before, it's really good with whatever class. I think all the red classes, anything with a red storm, is going to be really good with this. So like, for example, this class right here, which is Dragon Guard class, it has a Firestorm. Do I have it set? No, I don't have it set. It works really well, so it works great with those. And if you have a class that you're leveling that has a blue storm, use that as well. It can prove to be very, very good. Right, let's match a gem. Let's do some explosions. Get Tesla. There you go. Have 1 Tesla. So you cast, come on, 1 Tesla. It killed my Tesla, boy. Go ahead and you kill the next one. That's how it is. That's simply how it is. Even if you tend to lose a troop on this team, you should be fine. Once you have 1 Tesla, you should get the job done regardless. Go Leprechaun. Both Teslas got spell already. 1 Tesla, they're gonna hit with skull damage. 2nd Tesla. Yeah. That's it. That's it. I don't want to make this a super long video, even though I think I have made it a super long video. But yeah, man, this is the team that takes the top spot on the list. Shout outs to Hazard once again for this team. Great team. Works with every single class. Works even best with, you know, of course, the red classes and the blue classes. But yeah, man, if you guys found this video helpful and informative, be sure to smash the like button and comment to let me know what you guys think about my picks for the top 5 classes of 2024, as well as the top 5 class leveling teams, right? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.